how did you and Lauren know that you guys wanted a kid or kids, or did you just kind of like stumble into this?
Um, for a long period of my life, I didn't want any kids. I was running around like a fucking madman around the world. And I loved my life that I had zero responsibility, zero accountability. And I could like date a girl. And if she started to give me the least bit of problems, I was like, oh, you know what? I don't need to take your shit. And I would just leave. And there was another one the next night. So it was really fun for a while. But at a certain point, it caught up with me where I, uh, I started getting panic attacks, really bad panic attacks. And my sister said she had got them at a point in her life. And she was like, it was my body basically telling me something was wrong. And she was a very like high powered executive flying all over the country. She goes, I was in a hotel room in Chicago and I just like walked out of the room, got on an early flight and went home and quit my job. And I was like, what? She's like, yeah, I just decided like it was over. I couldn't do this anymore. And she started having kids and settled down and did all this stuff. And she was like, it just wasn't for me or anymore. I think she might have had a kid at that point also. And she was just like, I couldn't do it anymore. Like do the mother and travel. And um, but and I just couldn't figure out what it was for me. And then I just figured out it was a pretty empty life, like I had no roots, no, like I was coming home to a dog and I loved my dog, but it was like, this is just bullshit, like I need to lay roots and do something. And I met Lauren and I knew right away when I met Lauren that she was like the one. I knew like the minute, like the first time I hung out with her, I was like, oh, wow, this is weird. I met my wife. And I was like, this is because I used to date a crazy stripper. And
That's like the exact opposite.
yes. And she was I mean, my wife's beautiful, but this girl was really beautiful too. And she was like, but she was like slutty hot. And I remember it was really funny. Like she was in Playboy and all my friends used to laugh. They're like, how's that stripper you're dating? And I was like, oh, it's fun. Did you ever get ever get your car keyed? You know,
Yeah, that sounds like really the path to fulfillment, you
yeah.
know?
You ever wake up to go get coffee and your wallet's gone? So I remember one of my friends who's an idiot, who's like the craziest guy I knew, said to me one day, he's like, Ifft, yeah, it's real funny and everything, you dating that stripper, but you know what's gonna happen? You're gonna get her pregnant and she's gonna have the kid and she's gonna be a shitty mom and you're gonna resent her and it's gonna be a giant fuck up and your whole life's gonna fall apart. He's like, so the quicker you end this, the better. And I was like, what? And
Wow.
he was like, what are you doing? And I thought about it for a minute and he's like, I'm telling you. And he was a crazy man. So I was like, wow, if he's telling me this.
Is that the best piece of advice you've ever gotten in your
Yeah,
entire life?
he's a friend that's really good with advice like that because he's not talking from like a an ivory tower and he's like he's been there in the trenches, he's done it all and he's like, look, dude, I'm just using common sense here. We both know how this is going to end. And I don't know, then I met Lauren and she just, I was like, this she'll be like the best mom in the world. And I just like thought like I've done so much shit. Like I've traveled all over the world, like literally almost every continent. I've I've got enough notches in my headboard. I've got I've and I was kind of like, yeah, I was out surfing one day and I saw a dad pushing his little son. It's so funny. I'm pretty sure the guy I saw was down in Huntington Beach. I'm pretty sure it was Kanoa Igarashi, who's one of the top surfers in the world right now, like top. I think he's number 4 in the world or 5. Um, and I saw him when he was like 7 years old or whatever. And his dad was pushing him into waves, and this kid was like ripping. And I was like, I think I'd rather be doing that than here alone surfing. I'd rather have like pushing my kid. And like I've done enough for me. It's time to like teach someone else. So I blew it in my wife.